All right. And I almost forgot I need to actually do this. Oh, wait, hold on. Well, I'll just check my stuff. I started the stream slightly too early. I usually type out my Twitter stuff before I actually start the stream, but that didn't seem to work today. Okay, good. Just making sure that it was actually broadcasting my audio. All right, let me send out the Twitter stuff real quick. Now live. Exclamation point. Paste. Come watch. Game dev. Indie dev. And text adventure. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Chris Ingerson, and it is August 15th. This is the August 15th TextQuest Devstream. Hello, Anthony. Welcome back. How are you today? All right, so today we are going to be working on some of the overworld levels. In particular, we are going to be redoing or redesigning parts of our Grove level. So I want to say we did this a couple of months ago. This is nothing particularly special. We just redid the vertex painting a little bit, or the vertex colors on our grass here to give us a path and actual grass mesh. But we're going to expand on this a little bit just because, for one, the path here is too short. You can actually see the end here, and I don't like that, so I want to push that back a lot. And I would like to experiment with opening this area up so it's more like the forest level that you saw before this. But it's actually, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. I think we're just going to focus first on getting this pushed back. There's not really a whole lot to do here, but we'll probably today. Sorry, for some reason I can't talk today. Today is probably going to be spent basically making minor adjustments to this level and then setting up the puzzle for this level, which involves, if I play, I think part of it is initialized here, but we don't actually have the parts necessary, which is going to involve scripting some torches and some lighting animations. So currently, the level has the sword here, which does not have anything set on it, and it's here in the slot. And the idea is that you have to solve a puzzle to actually be able to pull it out. And oh, wait, I think I'm missing some models. Okay. So the puzzle design here is there's a legend that you have to read about the flames of valor and courage or something like that, and I don't remember what I wrote exactly, being lit, and then once they're lit, you can pull the sword out. With the twist being that the torches are only supposed to light when the hero of legend steps onto the platform, but of course, they never planned for someone just lighting the torches manually. So once you have your lantern, you can come over here and light up these torches that are non-existent right now, and then you'll be able to pull the sword from the stone. Hello, Z-Link! Welcome to the dev stream. Oh, and Anthony, as far as I'm doing, I will give my default response. We'll see how this stream goes. But aside from that, I'm doing pretty well, or pretty good today. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop playing real quick. And I am going to up here. I think we're gonna, before we focus on, I guess, the art stuff. You know what? Let's start off light. We'll do the art stuff first. Okay, so we're gonna want to make a level or a scene. Let's see, Pro Builder Modeling, Overworld. Do I have one for the Grove? I do have one for the Grove. Well, isn't that nice? So we're essentially just going to model this exterior, which I think is, as of right now, yeah, it's an FBX, but we're gonna use Pro Builder to do all this stuff. I do remember you, Z-Link. Uh, and Yoink is... Oh, it's not updated yet. It's in the dictionary, but I haven't updated the dictionary in TextQuest yet. And I don't remember if you did Dropkick for doors, but I believe I have that in now too. In any case, so let's go ahead and swap over to our Pro Builder Dev layout. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and start modeling real quick. So this won't take very long. For the most part, we're just going to redo the ground here and the trees or the tree line here. And that's just going to involve pushing this stuff back a fair amount, basically until it can fade off into the distance, and then we don't have to worry about it. So let's go ahead and come up here to new shape, make a plane, and yeah, that's fine. We'll have it have 0 segments. Let's see, initial orientation will be forward, not down, forward. Aha. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And I think I'm just going to position it. Let's see. Okay, so that's going to be from the right. So I'm just going to go ahead and position it. Done. Come over here. We're going to snap all this stuff, move it into position. You flush against the ground. You are good. All right, so that's where we're going to build it. Let's go ahead and give it a width of 20. Oh, nope. 10, and I guess a height of 20 because of course. And I'm pretty satisfied with the actual. Oh, you know what? I also need to turn this around, don't I? So we want this to be backward. And of course now it's the other direction. Okay, fine. So 20 and 10. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the actual size, so height-wise of the tree line. All that really needs to change is we just got to push this back a little bit. Let's see. I've had my footprint left on a video game. I can't wait to play this when everything's said and done. Well, I am working on it, as you can see. So let's go ahead and build plane. All right, and let's switch over to do some basic extrusions. Just going to stretch this out to there. Same thing here. This, stretch this, right there, stretch it this way, and let's just say, okay, so I'm going to try to get this right. Let's have it stretch 50 units, which, keep in mind, is actually going to be 49 units. Oh, sorry, I was completely rude, by the way, Z-Link. How are you doing today? So we're going to stretch this all the way down. And let's go ahead and look at this from above. Graphic view. Are these the same? Yes, they are. Good. Let's go ahead and go back to perspective. And let's just close these off. So we're going to bridge these edges, and there we go. So that's our new tree line mesh. We have to texture it, of course, but for the most part, it is pretty much done. That's all I wanted to do with it. Now we have to remodel our floor, which is not super great because we're gonna have to. Can I paint and model it at the same time? Yes, I can. So we're gonna remodel. Actually, you know what? We might not have to repaint this because you are already a mesh, I believe. Yes. Aha. Great. So that means I can just stretch this. So let's go ahead and we're going to do edge selection. Select all these edges, and then we're just going to extrude them. Kapow! Just like that. Please tell me that it kept the tiling. It did not. That's not too bad. Oh, cool. What'd you stream? Let's let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to open up our UV editor, which is on the left side of the screen. And you guys can't see that. So we're going to move this back over here. Okay, so let's see. Where are you? Oh, good. They're not. Ah, great. They're not contained. Let's see. What are you guys scaled at? 0.5. That. Oh, right. Okay, there we go. I guess I can probably group these guys together too. Group selected faces. Okay. So we're going to move this into position. And then now its tiling should be correct, I think. So it's just going to be a matter of getting these to look right. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball it here to try and line up our UVs. There we go. I'm actually very happy that I didn't have to completely redo these UVs. Let's see here. So can I see a noticeable difference here? Yes, I think I need to move it just a little bit more. So I'm going to try to, we're going to use this grass right here as an indicator. So it might be a little hard to see on the Devstream, but there's the word grass is spelled out here, and it's a seam grass, so we can use it to make it look correct. Slime Rancher, huh? I have yet to play that. I've heard that it's good, but I'm not really one for that kind of Harvest Moon-esque type game. So I think we want something like this, roughly. I am going to try to... Let's deselect this real quick. It's kind of hard to tell. I'd say that's probably good enough. Let's see. Okay, so they're slightly offset. There we go. So now I can select all of these, and now I can move them. So let's see, we're going to go slightly. Ah, dang it. I hate it when it does that. When it doesn't actually grab the arrow, it clicks on it, or the thing behind it. Okay, so we're going to go slightly to the right. Right there. That is good enough, because no one is going to get this far in. But it needs to look just right enough. So, all right, let's go ahead. I'm going to move my UV window back over. It is story-based time killer, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's not procedurally generated. I think it's just a regular curated experience, which I'm all for. I don't like procedural generation really. I don't know. It seemed like an okay game, just not one that I would particularly enjoy. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn off our tree barrier. And now we are going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to generate UV2s. So let's go ahead and rebuild those. And we will also rebuild it for the ground, which I will actually double check. Make sure that's using 4 pixels. Okay. Save the scene. Now we're going to apply our material that we need to for our trees. Open up the material editor, which is also something that you guys can't see, but that's fine. You don't need to see this part. Let's see here. I'm going to go to Forest Mountains, which is the material I use. It is a atlas, I guess, like in the most basic term of the word, material that has the top half of the material is trees, and the bottom half of the material is the mountain texture that you see in the plains level. And that was basically because I needed 2 super wide but not tall textures, and I'm like, well, might as well stick those on the same material to pull down the draw calls. All right, so let's go ahead and select this. Then we're going to hit apply. And it's perfect. No need to edit it whatsoever. All right, but I guess I should do some things. So let's go ahead and grab that. Select all of our UVs, which need to actually be spaced out and shrunk. Shrunk. Pretty sure shrunk. Let's see, times 2, 4, 8 and 16. That looks correct. It actually might be... Nope, 16 seems right. Nope, I lied. Gotta go slightly more than that, which is not really great because I don't know what a good increment of that will be. Maybe if you like the Farmville of off Facebook. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it is called Slime Rancher. Oh yeah, the little pixel avatar guy. Yeah, I need to actually work on him some more. Um, right now he responds when I talk, although there's probably about a second worth of lag there, and does random poses, depending on if I'm talking or not. But if you watch him long enough, you'll eventually see that he sometimes transitions too quickly and it's like super snappy. So I'm trying to smooth that stuff out, but it's hard to tell how much time I should really sink into that guy because I like it, but it's also kind of pointless as far as productivity goes. So let's go ahead. We're going to scoot all these guys over. Grab this. Move it over. Yep. It did that again. Just didn't let me click on it. All right. Let's move you over. Grab all of you. Slide you over. Okay. So what we're going to do as far as making sure our UVs line up, we're going to basically do what we did before, which is our far end here, this little pocket back here, is going to be where our UVs will eventually meet. And that's because we don't actually care about this one. So actually what I should do is do this. Move. Is that right? Yes, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Hold on. I want to make sure. It won't let me actually do it. Go to face mode. Okay. You. That doesn't seem right. What are you? Oh, I guess I'm just grabbing the wrong ones. Okay, so I'm going to move these guys off to the left a little bit. I'm guessing that was... Okay, yeah. So that's going to be our starting one, followed by this one. I'm basically just trying to put these guys in a rough order, which is not going super well right now. So slide you to the right, slide you to the right, slide you pretty far to the right. There we go. I think you're going to be right there, so you're actually going to go pretty far. Pull you off to the left. All right. Hold on. Oh, and I guess that means that this guy's actually going to be on the far left here. What are you? You're right. Pull you. Wait, I'm confused. Where did... Okay, I'll get this. I know how to model. Slide that guy left. Let's see. It isn't pointless to think of people who use corgi as their... That's true. I don't know. I wanted something that wasn't just my face. Because, I'm trying to get people to watch my stream, not run away in fear of it. But I also wanted to have some fun with it. So originally I did that little guy in Flash, and now he's a Unity app. So I can do a little bit more in terms of animation and stuff like that. What I really need to do is I need to figure out how to hook into Twitch's API, because I would like to have things happen when someone hosts me, or maybe even allow chat to interact with it somehow. That would actually be pretty cool if I could do that. But that again factors into, like, is it really worth the time? It's hard to say. Oh, you know what? It's pointless to scale these guys yet. Shouldn't try to connect them because I'm going to have to scale them down. So let's go ahead and we're going to scale these guys in a little bit. So scaling down, scaling down, scaling down. Okay, now we're going to try to drag them up. Okay, I think I got a little bit more to scale down. There's a thing for that? You mean hooking into Twitch's API? Let's go ahead and shrink a little bit more, just a little bit, teeny tiny. There we go. Okay. We're gonna pull you up. This is a very nope. Gotta do way more. There we go. There we go. So there's our tops. Yeah, I should have remade this texture. Honestly, well, I mean I did because it has the normal map stuff, but I should have made it again because it's kind of a little too difficult or too easy for the mountain to slip in, and I have to cut off the tops of my leaves here at the very tip. So I'm not super happy about that, but it's something I have to do. To show host notifications. Well, yeah, I mean I actually have I'm using Streamlabs, although for some reason the widget doesn't show up, but it does chime, which is weird. So I get notifications when people follow and host and all that, but I would like to actually have my pixel or my avatar there react and do stuff that's fun. Um, so I'd like to do stuff other than just like have a name show up. Although I mean that would be a good starting point. Because I'd like to do stuff like if I can get specific names and they're people that host fairly regularly, I'd like to give them their own custom sprite that shows up or something, um, just to have fun with it. So maybe the camera would zoom out from my guy and the other person would be in the room with me or something. Then again, it's not like I have a room in there. It's a gradient void. Ah, dang it. It's so hard to get these super wide ones to line up properly. There we go. It's not really a huge issue, although I guess the important thing is that it looks right in real world space. I'm going to turn off my lighting. Yeah, it looks fine. Alright, pull the UV over again. Hit F. Nope, no such luck. Alright, come over here, take a look at this. Try to get this to line up properly. Looks good. Looks good. Alright. Okay, I was going to be like, what? Why are you highlighting the wrong UV? Muxy.io. I have not used that before. What is that? Huh. Interesting. Well, I might look into that then. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a similar service to Streamlabs. Um, I guess the big thing there is if it has OBS integration. I assume it does, but you know, it's never good to just assume. Okay, so let's go ahead and while we're at it, we'll just slide everything over. Okay, let's see if we can get this to look right. Okay, so I think we're gonna just kind of cheat and use this as the eyeball. We'll see how well that lines up. Almost. I cut it off prematurely. All right, drag it a little bit further left. About there. That might be a little too far left. Just barely. Ah, drives me nuts. I get too obsessive about the UVs here. There we go. That's good enough. All right. So next we're going to go ahead and drag you over. I do actually miss Maya's UV tools for this stuff. And for more complex things, I'll actually just jump over to Maya. It's not uncommon for me to model something out super quick in ProBuilder, then export that as an OBJ, bring that into Maya, then clean it up in Maya, and then export it as an FBX. Just all the fun steps. All right, so that should be our layout. So if we look at the whole thing, it should all match up. Everything should look correct, which it does. And then at the end here, we don't actually care if it lines up because, again, it's not likely that people will be able to see it. So we're just going to leave that as is. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that looks fine. So that's that mesh. And our ground is done too. Hooray! So we're done with the remodeling portion. It's the stream equipment I use. I mean, it actually works more than Streamlabs. All right. Well, yeah. I will keep that up then. I will give that a look. Uh, yeah, I'm still trying to refine my streaming process a lot. I don't quite have it down yet. I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with OBS as far as my actual streaming tool goes, but besides that, actual integrations for things like Streamlabs or I guess Muxy and integrating with Twitch more are things that I just haven't done. I need to. I know it's important. I just haven't. All right. So everything should be correct. I'm going to go ahead and generate UV2s just out of habit. We're going to save, and then we're going to re-export these things. So let's see. Oh, and I probably should name it something instead of just calling it plain. So we'll call this Grove Tree Line. All right. Save again. Let's export these tools. Pro Builder. Export, and we're just going to export asset. Let's see. So we're going to go to Pro Builder Modeling. No, I lied. Pro Builder Models. Overworld. Let's go ahead and create a new folder. I'm going to call this Grove. Okay. And we're going to select that folder. Should import all that stuff. And now if we scroll up, we should see it. Pro Builder Models. If I can click on it. Overworld, Grove, and Grove Ground. So you can see there are new models. Grove Tree Line. Everything looks pretty good. So let's pop that in to our main Grove scene, and then we'll be done with that portion of it. Well, Z-Link, actually, since you stream a lot, or at the very least more than I do, do you have any suggestions as far as the format that you've seen so far on my stream? In terms of, say, like window layout or things that I should do better as a host? I keep meaning to ask that question on a lot of my streams and I just forget. Let's see. And it's not because I don't care, people. It's just because I'm very forgetful about that particular issue. Let's see here. We want our grove level. Yay, blue trees. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to. This is interesting. I wonder where I put you. Oh. Well, that's fine. We're going to delete this anyway. Pull you in. Pull you in. Turn you off first. All right, now let's position this. Moving it over, moving it back, right about there. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and get rid of our Grove Ground here, but not before I grab this. Copy component. We're gonna go to physics, which for some reason I could not focus on. Mesh Collider. Add our component. And this is the polybrush ground script here is so that we can have our appropriate sound effects whenever we walk on the specific parts of the ground. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. It's going to be everything but occluder and batching static. Okay. So let's go ahead and turn on everything and then turn off occluder and batching. And unfortunately, yeah, so the reason that I can't turn on batching static is because I have to read mesh data from the ground in order to do stuff. But if I have batching on, you can't actually read mesh information anymore, which means that I wouldn't be able to get accurate information for our polybrush ground script. So let's go ahead and turn on Grove Tree Line. Keep yourself talking and some form of camera avatar. Okay, well, I'm trying to do the first and I technically have the second. So I I'm glad that I'm on the right track there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and... Is this still part of the model? Yeah, it is. I'm actually going to, I guess, keep this. That means I'll just disable it. Okay. And we're going to do something that I normally don't do, which is I'm going to bake the light map. And the reason that I'm going to bake it is because this is a small level, so I don't anticipate this being terrible. I will also go ahead and do physics, mesh collider, and we got to do all of the light map static stuff. It's just completely static. Okay, well then it can be completely static. So let's go ahead and this up, and we're just going to go ahead and save and bake lighting. Pow! So I don't anticipate this bake taking too long, just because again this is all of the level. It's very small. All right. Although I do need to come up with a better way of batching our trees here, because they are quite expensive in terms of lighting. Let's see. Are you actually set up to be batching? Oh, why are the trees not set to batch? That doesn't seem right. The only thing I could think is that for some reason I have colliders or something that you could walk on, but that is not correct. So yeah, I probably should actually have these guys be batched. Well, all right then. That makes things easy. Is there anything else that we can do while we're here? Oh, you know what? While that's baking, I can look through my project for legend. Let's see here. I should have, yeah, right here. This is just super old. No, this is new. Oh, what did I click on? Dang it. I hate it when I click to the right and drag, because Unity will loop your mouse, and that makes me lose track of it. So I'm like, what's happening? But yes. So I think this is a new texture, but no, I lied. This is not a new texture. This is a very old. Yep, it is a 512 by 512. This is the original texture that I used. Oh, how precious. So yes, if you want to see what TextQuest originally looked like, this material here is the original material for like a slab of stone that I had in front of these pedestals. Well, I guess behind the pedestal in front of these giant stone reliefs. And it was just a single diffuse texture. There was no normal map, no metallic roughness maps. It was just a 512 by 512 PNG. Oh, it's adorable. Oh man. Okay, so I guess we got to redo that then. Well, that's not too bad. We can do so. So I guess we're going to do a little bit more modeling actually. Oh, right. I forgot that the trees exist in this level, and that's going to increase our bake time. Well, I was hoping to do it just so that I could see what everything looked like, but that might end up taking more time than I would like. So, well, we'll give that, I'm going to say one more minute. In the meantime, I can look at, not our JSON parser, but our Grove Manager. So we haven't actually done much in terms of logic for this level. We basically only have logic that's going to play a specific audio source around the pond when the level loads. But aside from that, we haven't done anything. And eventually we're going to need to hook up things like the sword spawning in, which is technically done. But we actually, that's kind of not true. There's this really weird thing that we do with the sword that spawns in. Dang it, I can't play because it'll stop the light map baking. Curse you, Unity. So we're actually spawning in the sword right now, but what needs to happen is we're going to spawn in a very special form of the sword that is not really a weapon or an item that you can pick up. It's just a regular interactable object, and that's because we don't want you to actually be able to do much with it until you light the torches and then pull it out. So what I've done in the past was I had something that was it would spawn in like a dummy object, and then when you lit the torches, it would actually swap out the sword with the real sword that you could then pick up, um, and that would basically be it. And I think we're going to take a similar approach here. So we'll have a what's basically a dummy sword here get spawned in, and then after that, or after the torches have been lit, that sword will get swapped out for the real sword, which will actually be allowed to be picked up and all that stuff. So take a drink real quick. And I think we're almost done with the light map baking. Man, even when I think it's going to take me like 5 seconds to bake a light map, it's like, nope, psych, it's going to take you forever. Also, at some point, just to let you know, I'm probably going to redo the backs of these reliefs, just because I'm not super happy with these. I mean, I like the story that they're supposed to tell, but I just need to come up with a better presentation for them. So, let's see here. Thinking of composition for the scene. Eventually, what we're going to do after our light map is finished, we're going to have the legend. I guess I can't call them reliefs, but sort of like legend carvings, like little bits of obvious things that you're supposed to read in front of each of these giant stone reliefs. And the reason for having them be a separate object that actually has, I closed it, that actually has legend written on it is because if it's just these flat surfaces, it's very, very likely that players will not fully understand that they can read these things. But if I have a separate object that's like tilted and says legend on it, I know that these say legend on them too, but it's a subtle legend as opposed to the very blatant legend that we would write on the front of the stone pedestal stuff. Hooray, we're done with the light map. Let's see. There should be a founder script to say something. What do you mean by founder script? All right, so we're going to just hit play. And I am going to see what this looks like. Make sure that everything looks nice. Stupid shape tool, because it's a utility window. There we go. All right. I don't think I have a transition set up, which is good. All right. So that's probably far enough back. Keep in mind that we're going to have trees and other objects cluttering up this area, so you're not going to be actually able to really see the far back here. We just need enough of a distance that when you transition out of the grove, which will probably be around here, if you hold down the sprint button, that you can't reach the end of this area. So that should be good. And oh boy, I probably need to. I think I need to re-import these models just because their light maps are, I think, spaced too close together for their light UVs. But now I know why they're doing that, because I was stupid when I did it before. So, fun little fact for any people developing in Unity. The light map, which is controlled by what's called your UV2 channel on a model, needs at about 4 pixels of buffer space between each UV shell. Otherwise, you'll get this. This is this bleeding going on, and that's because Unity interpolates color based on 2 different pixels. And what these were done, well, these trees were done using 2 pixel buffer space, but that means that they're actually grabbing from one another as opposed to a 4 pixel buffer space, which would have them be isolated. And that was because I didn't know about the 4 pixel rule until after I had made these. I just found that out probably about a month ago. So that's the reason why there's actually quite a bit of shadow problems or light map problems when it comes to some of my models. Something that I got to re-import all of my models to do. Yay! In any case, let's see. So does the dirt say dirt? Yes, it does, as you can see. And it should, my footsteps should change whenever I'm on the dirt as opposed to the grass. And you can kind of hear that sometimes, but for some reason, I still don't know why. It's not always accurate, which is rather annoying. So why does the sky not say sky? The sky does not say sky because there's some weird design concessions that I have to make. If the sky said sky all the time, it would probably be something like how dirt is very tiny and meant to look like rocks and such. But there's nothing in the sky, really. And if I made it say words all the time, it would actually be sort of like a sensory overload. You wouldn't be able to focus on it. Everything looks really weird when you do it like that. So I've just decided that I don't want to have the sky say sky. Instead, I want to do things like I'll show you the planes level real quick. Where are you? Planes. There we are. Instead, I'm doing things like the planes level, which has clouds, and those actually say clouds. Well, cloud. Pretty sure that I have those in here right now. Yes, I do. Good. So if you play and look up, you can see cloud. But yeah, the reason it doesn't say sky is because, one, it would be too much information. It would be very hard to focus. You can see that these say cloud. And two, if I did have the sky say sky, I couldn't do things like that where it says cloud because it would be too hard to focus on and read. So it's one of those weird design quirks that I had to choose when I was starting out. But I'm pretty happy with it, just because I feel like it's more amusing to see cloud than it is to see sky everywhere. In any case, so let's jump back over to our Grove modeling. Okay, come over here. We're going to start modeling a cube. Let's go ahead. We're going to say new shape. We're going to build a cube, which is not terrible. And let's see here. So dimensions, we're probably going to want... Well, you know what? I can pull in the original one and see if that still looks decent. So let's go ahead and do legend. Pull that in. Oh man, that thing's beefy. Oof. It's also going to be a little tricky because I can't really have it cover up the bottom here because the pedestal needs to be there. Then again, I could probably do that if I just raise the design a little bit, because I think I have about, well, I don't really have that much there. Okay. So I can't really do that. But let's see if we can get this to look nice. Oh, you know what? Actually, we're not going to do what I did anyway, because this is just a cube. We're probably going to actually have it be a more fancy slanted thing. So let's go ahead and turn you off. Although I do care about your width still. It's fine. I can just eyeball it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and select this. This is going to be kind of weird. Let's do our height as 0.25. I think that's fine. Go down. Now we're going to change our snapping to 0.25. Hit done. But yeah, I'm curious what you meant by founder idea, Z-Link. I've never heard that term before. Okay, I'm actually going to shrink this down to 0.125. It's a half increment. Seriously? It's still floating? Ah, dang it. Whatever, it's fine. That's close enough, I think. Let's see here. I'm going to slide you over. That's not too bad. Slide you over. And it's probably fine. Let's change its depth to 5, 2. 1.5 is probably better. Okay. So what I'm planning here is basic, sort of like, how do I describe it? Like a slanted surface. So it's going to be uh, almost triangles on the side, then a rectangle at the bottom, and uh, the top is going to have a raised back but a lowered front. So it's slanted so that you could read it from the front easier or easily. Like Founder Bean, you founded the game. You have to remember anyone who helped. Oh yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of stuff like that in the game. Um, Although I've tried to avoid anything too complex. Let's see here. So that's probably good. Let's change our width to 2. Nope, 3. Does that look good? That looks good. And I think that's good enough. All right, let's go ahead and build cube. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this back edge, and we're going to go ahead and can I? Well, we'll find out. 0.225. Done. Go up. Good. So about there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's not bad. Let's go ahead and also do that. I gotta shrink this down to 0.125 again. Move this up. That's not bad. Yeah, and I think we're going to give it a little bit of space between the actual relief and itself. I'm going to move this back to there, I guess. Maybe there. Just enough that it's not actually going to be touching. And of course, I need to be able to accommodate 3 of them, so they need to be able to angle themselves without touching each other, and I think that's about a good enough size. All right. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to delete the bottom face here because you will never see it. So delete face. And with that, we're pretty much done. That is the entirety of the model that I wanted to do. Now we are going to have to actually come up with the texture for this. So that is going to involve doing some research real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up. We're going to figure out what these things are called, assuming they have a name. They might just be called plaques, but surely there's an actual, what am I doing? So let's see. What do I want to call these? Let's see. Stone relief. Stone relief is, or stone relief carving is going to give us something else. Plaque, which I think is, yeah, cute. Let's see. I don't know if we're really going to get a good name for that. I don't want to call it plaque because that's not really what it is. This is one of those times where I'm pretty sure that there's actually, or that I'm pretty sure there's actually a real name for this thing, but it's going to be difficult to find because unless you know that thing or the name of it, you're not really going to know what to call it. So, oh, yeah, I try to avoid blatant references like that, just because I don't know. I feel like there's some amount of detraction there from the game itself. Although I don't mind doing that in the parser. Yeah, I know. Well, see, that's the thing. It's not actually a pedestal because a pedestal is what I'm using for this. Yeah, that's how it is. Pedestal. And that's what the sword is used for, but it's not actually a pedestal. There's a different term for it. Well, we might just call it stone and kind of cop out a little bit. Mostly because I don't entirely know what to call these things. See, I didn't think they were called plaques. Let's go to the web real quick. wonder if we can actually, let's see. See if this has anything on it. It's probably just going to be about the actual stone reliefs themselves, not the plaques that are used to describe them. No, that could be fine. Commemorative plaque. I wonder if there is a fancier word for these. Nope. Ah, well, it's fine. Yeah, I think I'm just going to call it stone, which is great because I'm pretty sure I'm going to start calling it stone soon. I just wish I could come up with a better design for the sides, because I'm pretty sure I know what the front and the back are going to be, but the side is a little awkward. Let's look at the legend real quick. So this is what our legend material was before. We had side and legend, which was, very, very descriptive. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's perfect. I can have SIDE. So the side will be scaled, basically. Oh, but then that means I have to have SIDE. Not crazy about that one. Dang it. That's not terrible, though. All right. Yep, part of designing the textures is you don't always need to call something exactly what it is. I mean, it's fun when you do, but in cases where you can't make that work, I think it's better to have a more creatively applied texture or text presentation. Let's see. Do I want to have a harsh edge up here? I could probably soften that up a bit. Yeah, I guess I will. Okay, so this is going to be a little different. We're going to scoot this forward by 2. Then we're going to extrude it back by 2, like that. There we go. So now we have a softer stone. It's not just this very harsh edge at the top. It also means that the surface that you're going to be reading from is a little more tilted to make it more obvious so you can read it. Yeah, I like that. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can make that look right. Save real quick. And yeah, okay. So we're going to go ahead and open up Illustrator. And I'm actually really sad. So I have Adobe Creative Cloud Suite now, but I can't use that with Substance. I have to use Adobe CS6. So fortunately, I did keep my Illustrator CS6 stuff, but yeah, for some reason, SVG's output from CC 2017 don't work in Substance. No idea why. Let's go ahead and make new. Let's see. We're gonna call this Grove Legend, I guess. Have that. Let's go ahead and we're going to say Grove Legend with capital G. We're going to have our masks, and let's go ahead and say, not, well, yeah, I guess I'll do color. So albedo. That means we'll also have one for normal, and that's fine. All right, so we're gonna have a background, BG, and text. Oops, come on, text, and the last one is gonna be Ivy. All right, so for our background, we're just gonna do a basic square with no border. Since this is stone, that means that letters are carved into it. They are not raised. So our background is going to be white. Oh, actually, you know what? Phooey. I lied because this is for our color. So our color map is going to have a black background. Let's go ahead and lock that. select our ivy, or not our ivy, start with text. And let's see here. We're going to go to Commodore 64 pixelized, no anti-aliasing, make sure that it's 70 font. Well, let's start typing. So, legend. Okay, then we have to reselect it to make sure that it's white. There we go. And I'm going to go for, I'm going to say 3 legends like I did before. Actually 2 might be better. This is a little wide. Okay, so we're going to do 2. So let's go ahead and select this. There's 2. And just using that rough sort of bounding box, I think that looks correct for this. We'll find out, of course, once we actually start mapping it, but I'm pretty confident in that. So let's see. And I mean, if worse comes to worse, then I'll just have to redo it. Well, shuffle it around a little bit. So that's our front plate. Let's go ahead and we're going to duplicate that. Drag that down here. This one is going to be the same thing, but with ivy covering it. If you notice, for our original legend, I basically made 2 things of everything. One version without ivy and one version with ivy. Now, the same thing happened with our stone reliefs. If we actually look at these textures, there's our albedo texture. You can see that, no, it's this one. You can see that look at that. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's crap, actually. That's no good. Dang it. Right. So I can actually put these things together. Well, I guess that's good, because it means that I don't need to make a whole new texture, but I do have to edit an existing one now. Hey. Well then, that's going to be a little more cumbersome. Okay, I'm going to call this Grove Legend. Grove Legend. Hit save. Okay, so that means I'm actually going to just close this. No, I don't actually care about it. So let's go to Unity, Text Quest, Art. Let's go ahead and drag some stuff around because I'm going to need to do so. So here's our substance, environment, overworld, grove, then textures, environment, overworld, grove. All right. And we are looking at reliefs, I guess. So let's see. I don't think we want relief misc, do we? No, it's relief center. Ah, dang it. Ah, wrong one. Let's see, relief base, relief back. Relief front. Okay, well, let's take a look. Not that one. And it's not you. So it is relief base then? Yeah, relief base misc. Oh, okay. Miscellaneous. Nope, that's not it either. Harumph! There it is. All right. Center. So relief's back. Oh, dang it. No, 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 no. Don't open it. Don't open it. Don't open it. Ah, no. Don't modify it. Let me see if I can still open it. I'm going to be so sad if I can't open it. Oh, good. Okay. Let's go ahead and stretch this out. So, oh boy. This is going to be a lot of effort, isn't it? Yep. Oh boy. All right, well, let's go ahead and unlock this stuff. Come over here. And, oh man, the amount of effort that is going to have to go into this is going to be quite annoying. All right. so fortunately I do have a lot of space. Let's see, get rid of our base here. So I'm going to move this up to about there. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. I'm going to lock Ivy for the time being. Get rid of our second legend here. Okay. And let's just go ahead and move it up here. I actually feel like I should move these to the left as well. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Try to keep this shape in mind. So, you know what? I think I'm going to kind of cheat here. I'm going to apply this material. What the? Oh, come on. Ah! Are you serious? Kaboom! Oh, come on. Okay. Because I can never have a fun time. Alright. It's because I accidentally selected the back and I applied the material when that was selected. There. Now I don't need the default one. And basically what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do like a quick UV map to see what it looks like. Let's see. I'm going to open up my UV editor. Let's go ahead and shrink it down. 4 probably seems about right. Really? Times 8, huh? Okay, so that's about what I actually was expecting. So you can see that we're pretty much about, hold on, let me get this. This will be a little bit better. So we're almost full, 3 full ones. Does 2 look better? Yeah, I think 2 looks better with larger vertical spacing and maybe even a little bit of more horizontal spacing. That should help even things out. So let's go ahead and come back here. Let's see here. Bump you up to 72. Maybe bump you down to -50. Let's, man, I'm going to actually go larger spacing, 84. Yeah, that looks good. So let's go ahead and see 84 for our vertical spacing. -50. Okay. So that's going to be our new legend text on the front. Now we need to get some stuff done for the sides. Well, and in addition to that, we also need to think, what do we want to do for the, come on, the tops here? Because I could very easily have it just say stone, but I don't know, I feel like that would be a little weak. I mean, I guess I could have it say pedestal, but that seems also counterintuitive. I don't want to detract from the importance of this particular pedestal, so I think we'll be better off with something else here. Stone is probably fine, although I'm not super crazy about that because we have stone everywhere else. Well, what to do here? Let's go back here to Illustrator. And let's see here. Well, I guess for now we can work on the backs and the sides at the very least, because we know what those are going to be. So let's go ahead. We're going to change this. So this one's going to be a little weird, because it's going to be, I guess, actually just 3 individual letters, or 4 individual letters. Let's do a negative. Let's just 220. 240. They're going to be too big. That is probably too big. Let's go down to 180. That's better. Okay, so we're going to slide you over to the left here. Let's go ahead and copy that one. So I'm going to say duplicate S, slide that over. T, this is going to be I. All right, we're going to shrink this down to, I'm guessing, 150. 120. Do I want to go down that far? No, it should be 150. I like to go in increments of 6, so 30, 60. Let's see here. So that's, I think, fine. It is kind of hard to tell. No, that is definitely not good enough, actually. Yeah, that needs to be 120. Oh, not 1200. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, let's go ahead and duplicate that. Drag that over. All right, we're going to say D for, and then we're going to shorten that even more. 90. Yeah, that one looks fine, I think. Then the last one is going to be E. Duplicate. Drag that out. Say E. All right, and E is going to be, I'm just going to say 72. Like that. All right, so that's our side, and I think that's about right. So S, I, D, E. I don't really like doing these tapered. I mean, I like them, but I find them troubling to do sometimes, just because you have to kind of guess. I mean, you could in theory export these meshes or these UVs. I actually, I wonder if there is a method to do that for ProBuilder, because that would be super nice. ProBuilder actions, materials, repair, experimental, debug, export. No, there's not. I would probably have to write my own callbacks or my own system for that. Would it be worth it? Yeah, probably. That's something I probably should look into, but I probably can't do that on the stream just because it's an asset and I don't like delving into assets from the asset store. And yep, it added it back. Boop. There we go. All right, so let's see. We're gonna have to go back. That means we're just gonna have to eyeball this for the time being. All right, let's see here. So that's the side from the left. Now we need one from the right. Man, am I gonna run out of room? I might. No, I think we'll be fine. I'm gonna have to do some creative packing, but I think we'll be fine. So let's go ahead and we're gonna do sides. Make a sub-object. Call this left. Grab these, put them under it. Also put them in order. All right, so now we can, I guess, duplicate this. This will be interesting to see what this looks like. Duplicate left. I'm going to call this one right. Lock that. Lock the background and our sides, and I guess our front. Let's see, foreground. Right? No. There we go. Yeah, because the only thing we're messing with is the legend right now. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to rotate this 180 degrees. We're going to move it up, and then we're going to move it, oops, we're going to move it off to the side a little bit like that. So the reason we're doing this is because the UV shells should basically cut each other off, so I can kind of pack more things into a square space than I normally would be able to. So let's see here. Now we have to E, D, I, and S. That just. Oh wait, duh. I was like, that doesn't make sense. It's like yes, because I need to actually move these around. Um, right. Well then, crap. That won't work. So I don't actually want to. I don't want to rotate these because that will not help me. Ah, sigh. All right. Let's go ahead and just grab all of the right side and rotate it back. I'm also going to go ahead and turn these guys off. Turn off all of the ivy as well. Let's see. So I'm going to put these guys here. Rearrange these. Side. Oh, nope, that's an E. And boom. Okay, so are these taking up roughly the same amount of space? No. Gotta fudge this. So we're gonna cheat here. Well, not really cheat, as so much as use the tools that I'm supposed to use. So I need to shrink these things in a little bit on both sides. Well, actually, so the S needs to go left. Okay. Now let's go up. Perfect. I think the E is like 1 pixel off. Boop. There we go. So now they take up the same size or the same width. Oh, dang it. Although we do have the problem that our bottom one is significantly shorter, which means I need to actually change the proportions of these things. So our D, for example, probably needs to be 150. And our probably needs to be shifted over. And our E probably needs to actually be 210. If we're going to keep up with the correct sizing. I'm going to drag this over. It's getting kind of cramped. Don't really like that. Pull this over. Okay, that's a little bit better, I think. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and, oh, really? I'm going to just bump these guys up. Okay. I'm going to select both the right and the left. And then we're just going to slide them up like that. And I'm also going to go ahead and slide our legends up a little bit just to give us some more room. Left and right here. Up. All right. So we should have room for the sides here now. Look at the back here. It's going to be a little tough. How do we want to do this? Gotta have something on the back. I mean, I could just have it say legend. Oh, crud, and we also need something for the top and the front. That is not great. I guess we'll just have it say stone. Yep, I'm fine with that. Stone, stone, stone. Let people know what it's made of. All right, let's see here. Yeah, okay. So before we do anything else, let's go ahead and copy this, pull these in, call this regular, I guess. Duplicate regular. It's going to be called Ivy. Okay, now we can move these things off to the side over here. That is it's a little tight. Not a big fan of that. I think it will be fine, but we'll see. So we want to grab the right side. here. Yeah, we are going to be pushing it with the stone stuff. I'm not sure what I feel about that. Yeah, I don't think I have enough room. Not great. Not great at all. Let's get rid of the words copy, of course. Okay. And let's see here. So I don't really have a lot of room for this stuff. But we got to make it fit. So I guess the question here is, how much of the word relief is in use here? I'm guessing. Really? Huh. There we go. So I mean, it's pretty tight packing in terms of the relief stuff. Does that look fine? Yes. I'm actually kind of annoyed with myself right here because I clearly had space, but I didn't use it. So that means I'm probably going to actually have to Dang it. Great. So I'm going to have to move the relief stuff down to give me more space for our sides here. Dang it. Which is annoying just because that means that I'm going to have to re-UV those in Maya. That's fine. I guess I have to re-UV their light maps anyway, so I might as well do it. We're not going to do that on the stream, obviously, but I'm just talking about things we're going to have to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see. Uncheck our sides. Let's just move the whole thing down first. So come on, move you down. Probably about there. Oh, well, that is not what I was expecting. Why are these not synced up? That is so weird. Let's see. So I think we want you and you. You're going there. You're going down. There we go. All right. So now I can select our top, and then ivy, and then just move it all down to about there. And that should give us plenty of room. So now I just freed up quite a bit of our texture. Okay. So let's see. Does that mean probably not a bad idea. Just thinking about how I could package this texture to make it a little bit more, or use its space a little bit better. I'm not sure if moving the legends down here will actually give me anything. So I'm kind of mad because I have this space on the right here, but I can't really do anything with it. I mean, I could move the relief textures over there, but it's hard to say if I can actually get any use out of that. Yeah, that might be more helpful than I would think. So kind of thinking. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to basically turn these reliefs that are on their side right now, flip them vertical, and have them be on the right here. I'm going to move my legends down to the side and move my sides over so that my reliefs have some room. Okay. Everyone got that? Good. going to go ahead and rotate. So we're going to put you here. Simple as that. And then we're going to have you and I guess these three. Okay, now let's try moving these. So about there. I'm going to shove you over a little bit. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and that's our sides. Let's lock that again. Open up our sides. I'm going to just go ahead and delete this one. Okay. Now we're going to move our legends around. So about there. And about here is probably fine. Okay, so now I have horizontal space, which is the thing I really needed. And I needed enough of it to be able to properly tile on the back here. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to say, come up here to regular. Let's just duplicate this. So, nope, not delete. Duplicate regular. Call this Ivy. Open you up. Say right instead of right copy. Left instead of left copy. Alright. So now we can move you up. Okay, so we're using our texture a little bit better. Have plenty of breathing room on both sides. Actually got a little bit of space up here that I could use for something. I don't quite know what, but I could do it. Alright, now I am going to I don't need you guys anymore. Boop. Okay. Let's go ahead and we're going to duplicate this one, I guess. I will duplicate this one. So duplicate. Drag you down. We're actually going to change this a little bit. Have it shift down a little bit. Okay. So this is going to say stone twice. Stone. Stone. We are going to shrink its text down to 60, I'm guessing. Nope, 48. That is marginally acceptable. 0 spacing. Yep, that's good. Okay, I'm going to move this up to about here, I think. Alright, we're going to copy this. And we're going to have 3 different things for it. We're going to change our height down to 48, 36. Let's do 42. Yes, that looks fine. I'm going to move it up a little bit. There we go. And that means I'm going to move these guys up just a little bit. Give me some breathing room. All right. So I now have the backs, and I have the plaque, well, the front, I guess. We have our sides. I need to do the ivy texturing, I guess, still. Okay. So I think I'm actually going to move these reliefs up all the way up to the top and then rotate these guys so they're flat against the side here. I feel like I should have music when I do texturing, just because it is kind of a tedious process. It's not particularly interesting, I suppose, for people to watch. Or at least it's certainly not as exciting as coding or doing things in Unity. In any case, let's see here. We're going to say, grab you. Let's go to, I can't really do that on that. So we're going to go side and side and doot. Okay, now we're going to move you up to about there. All right, I'm going to grab these guys. I'm just going to rotate them like so, and ta-da! now we have even more space in our texture. Hooray! We're doing good. So, let's go ahead and close that. We're going to lock our sides again. Go ahead and save. And let's see here. I think we're almost done laying everything out. And then once we do everything, as far as layout goes, it'll be pretty quick to get it into Substance and updated and then pulled in, since that Substance is already done. Okay, so let's see here. I think I'm going to move my sides up just a little bit more. Actually, no, I'll leave them down. So I'm pretty sure I could do something with this space up here still. And I think everything else is fine. So I'm going to grab this stone. Let's move this up. Let's see. Grab this. Move this down here. We're going to call this regular, I guess. No. Fine. Front. Move these guys into that. Move this down. We're going to call this back. Grab that. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. Move this over. And the reason I'm duplicating it is so that one can have ivy and one can not have ivy. And I think we're pretty good as far as that goes. All right, so now comes the ivy part, which is actually going to be somewhat challenging. Essentially, to make this work, I need to make sure that the back that has ivy growing off of it has a side that also has ivy growing off of it. Same for the legend. So I think typically what I do is I'm going to have ivy growing from the left. So let's go back here. So you can see that I tried to get it. I guess, man, I probably should have done that a different way. I probably should have tried to have it where ivy grows where the sun is going to shine, which makes sense. Which means I probably actually want to relay some of this stuff out. So I should have this relief have stone, and then this relief have ivy. And likewise, ivy here, not here. So minor changes. But again, that's all texture UVing, so we're not too worried about that. But I'm planning on having ivy growing here along the left side. And it's probably not terrible. I might just have it on, yeah, the left side of this one over here. So let's go ahead and, yeah, that's good. So let's let that happen. So that means I need to have ivy growing on the left of our legend here, as well as the top of our side. Oh god, that's going to be such a nightmare. Okay. I might skimp out on that, actually. So instead of trying to make it map nicely across the border, I think I'm just going to have one with ivy growing like here-ish. So let's go ahead and close this. Let's see. Let's turn on the ivy. Okay. We're going to unlock the ivy. And I'm going to delete this one because we don't care about it. But I think I'm going to keep this one. Move this over here. All right, so let's drag that out to here. Something like that. Except that's actually not good enough. Well, maybe I can get away with something like this. Hold on. It's not bad. Normally I would make these separate letters, but I'm feeling kind of lazy. So ivy like that. And then we're going to go ahead and duplicate this. Oh, dang it, no. I'm going to grab this. Drag it out. And, oh, dang it. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and lock my base so I don't accidentally click on it like I was about to do there. I'm going to delete all of this until it's just the eye. And we're just going to have Ivy be spelled out along the top here. Let's go ahead and duplicate this. Drag this out. Have it say V. Duplicate this. Drag this out. Have it say Y. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. That's just a nice little bit of garnish. I'm not sure I care enough about the back, especially since no one will ever be able to see it. But I should probably do it on the sides. So I'm going to need it on the left. I guess I'll do it on both sides, just to be safe. I don't know if I'll actually end up using the right side's Ivy or not, but never hurts, you know. Let's see, I'm going to unlock this, move this to the front. Okay. And let's see, sides. Yeah, it's fine. Let's go ahead and open this up. We're going to say Ivy. Come over here to our front. I'm going to duplicate this, move this over to Ivy here. We're going to lock our front again. And then we're going to move this. Okay. So which side is Ivy? It's the top one. I'm going to rename this Ivy, and this one regular. Basically that way so I have all my Ivy ones together. So we're going to lock that. Let's lock our back. And, alright. So this is going to be a little different. Well, not really. It's basically going to be the same. What the? That's weird. So we're going to get rid of I and V, or sorry, Y and V. Let's go ahead and lock our sides too, just so that I don't accidentally edit them. So we're going to have this. This is going to be tough. Especially since I want to be lazy and not have it come across the front. Alright, so we're going to duplicate you. Move this over to the right. It's going to say V. Move this up like that. Duplicate. Have it move up again. So something like that. And then let's go ahead and duplicate all three of those again. Select all three. Slide them over. Let's go up. I mean, I guess I could have it set up so it looks like it's climbing along the edge. It's probably fine. Let's duplicate it one more time. So kind of like that, and then our last Y will actually curve down like that. There we go. That looks nice. Okay, and now for the left side, which I guess would pretty much be this. No, I think the left side's going to be different. We're actually going to have it go up and down like that. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this. So that is on the right. I hate how quickly my layers become unreadable. I'm going to call this one, you know what, we're just going to delete that, duplicate this, call this one left. Yeah, it's officially too wide, or too not wide enough. All right, so we're gonna bump all of this up here. There we go. So we're gonna have I, V, Y. Ah, dang it. And maybe something like I, V. Let's try to bring this down a little bit. I, V, Y. Like that. That looks erratic, similar to how ivy grows, kind of, in a weird way. All right, I think that's actually, you know what? I'm going to duplicate this ivy, spread it out a little bit more, have it maybe cover the entirety of the side. All right, so let's uncheck those. Sides here. Come back to the front. Come out to the ivy. Select all of that. We're going to duplicate those guys. Select them all. Oops. Drag this out like this. I have a little bit of an up and down venture. Similar to that. Yeah, ivy positioning is always kind of nasty just because it's a weed, which makes it very annoying to deal with because it tends to grow in not really rational patterns. So trying to make it look organic with the way that it grows is sometimes difficult. There we go. Okay, one more. I think we'll do it. Let's see. Go ahead and grab these guys. Duplicate. Boop. Yeah, have the Y come down a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, so all of that work. Now, let's go ahead and uncheck these. Collapse that. Uncheck these. That. Okay. So that's our base. Oh, jeez. It had to be on one of the most complex textures, which means I have so many textures that I have to redo. Okay. Let's grab this and all of this. I'm actually going to go to so we have relief center. Yeah, so anything that says relief's back center is what I basically have to export for the most part. I don't need to do anything with swords, tiger. It's hard to say with some of these. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and let's open up. We want relief's back. I'm going to open up substance. That'll help us identify where everything is. Okay. Yarg. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and say yes to all. Let's see how bad it breaks. It seems fine. Let's bump that up to 1K. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. So let's go to resources. Let's see, we want reliefs. I'm going to double click on these so I can see them. So we don't need to export that. We do need to export that. Don't need to do that one. We do need to do that one. Nope. Nope. We do need to do that one. Fortunately, it looks like I'm not really doing much in terms of color. So I just need to update my actual SVGs, and I think everything will be fine. I don't need to change anything because this texture it doesn't have its colors customizable. It's just the color texture. Don't need that. Don't need any of these sides things. So I think I only need one. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I have 4 maps that I have to export, and that's it. So that's not terrible, which is good. Okay. Unfortunately, it does require a fair amount of effort on my part to do it. Yeah, a lot of effort, actually. Well, it's not going to get done unless I do it, so I apologize that we ended up doing a texture for the last half of the dev stream. I think actually, you know what, that might be a good Sunday dev stream, now that I think about it. Let's duplicate center, bump this, okay, you're locked, aren't you? Turn you on, move you up here, lock you, lock the base, turn it off, okay. Now I'm going to see what everything looks like. Lock the sides here. I wonder if I could do a shortcut, actually. Because I don't think we need the relief. I don't think we need the background. So all that really needs to change is our sides here. Ah, dang it. Cancel. Okay. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. So that's the legend and the sides. So let's see here. We'll do everything except for those. Ivy is, I believe, just all white. That is correct. Sides are black. That makes sense. This is our height. And that means, well, those are the only 2 we actually care about. Hooray! Okay, let's go ahead and get this done then. Okay, go ahead and turn off our center here. No, I lied. We're not going to do that. I'm going to turn off our legend. Legend sides. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to select all of this. We're just going to set this to be black. Now, remember, for normal maps, we have basically normalized value between 0 and 1, which is black to white. White is the highest point of a normal, so it looks like it's raised. Black is inset, so it looks like it's pushed into the material. So since our material is for a stone, that means that any text would be carved into the stone as opposed to raised up. So any text tends to be black for the normal map. I keep doing very terrible patterns of speech. Sorry, I keep like saying the same intonation and doing all of this again. Ugh, hate it when I do that. In any case, point being that inset text is black because that means that it's pushed into the normal map. All right, so unlike our text, unlike our regular text, which is inset, Ivy actually grows, which means that it's going to be white. So there we go. Makes that pop. Let's come back over here to legends. I can get rid of you. Let's see. Grab these guys. Make them black. Okay. Front is going to be fairly simple. It's going to be white for Ivy. And black for the other colors. All right. Grab that. And last is our sides. I really wish it didn't append copy whenever I duplicated something. At least not for child layers. I mean, it makes sense for the topmost, but come on, man. Grab all of this, as well as you. These are going to be black. And the ivy will be white. All right. So there is our normal map. Yeah, I know you're going to keep reselecting it, aren't you? All right. So that means I can turn these on, delete these, move these below, bring this up in that case, turn these back on, get rid of our center copy. All right, so that's our new, this is our new normal map. Everything looks pretty good. I'm satisfied with that. I'm a little bit worried actually about these guys. They look a little close to the bottom. It should be fine. Okay, so that's the normal map. Let's go ahead and lock that. All that's left is our masks now. So we need to set up masks for, I believe, just our ivy and our sides, and then we'll be good. So let me see. Yeah, we just need our ivy and then our sides. Okay, so like before, let's turn this on, uncheck you, lock you, undo you, unlock you. Okay. So we're going to do what we did before. We're going to duplicate our center here. Duplicate center, unlock it. Move this up to, are you serious? Heh. There we go. Okay. Turn you off. Turn you off. All right. Let's see. So we need. Interesting. Okay. So we're going to grab our ivy. And when we do that, I'm actually going to delete all of the existing ones. Let's come up here to our sides. Sides. Uh-oh. What are you doing? Oh, that's why. When I say sides, I think it's these, but it's actually the reliefs. Ah, terrible naming on my part. Let's rename that to relief sides. There we go. That's better. Let's see. We can get rid of you. No, I want to keep you actually. Let's get rid of these things. Do I want to do that? Hold on. Side, legend. Yes, okay. And you. Yes. Get rid of you. Or not, because of course it was disabled and it doesn't like delete things in those cases. Let's rename this to relief sides. Alright. Get rid of you. Let's see. Legend. Open this up. Again, we're going to move this up. Delete the base copy. Close back. Sides, or SDIs, I guess. Sides. Front. Grab all of our ivy. Move that up here. Front. Sides. Oh, and I guess I was calling it a base before. That's why I had base be there. We're just going to call it legend. Okay. And that is all we actually care about, I think. So let's see. Yeah, we don't care about the background or the text. Just to make sure. Sorry, I get paranoid whenever I edit massive textures like this. Okay, I think we're good. So all that's left is to save and start exporting things. So let's start with our masks. Let's do, oh yes, and this is a whole process, of course. So we're going to delete this. Then delete our normal and base maps. Okay, delete everything except for ivy. Shoot. I messed up. But this is why we save habitually. I really hope that I did anyway. I will be very, very sad otherwise. Let's see. How bad is it? Oh, good. Whew. Oh, good. I messed up anyway. Um, so I forgot to white scale or grayscale these. These need to be black or white values, basically. Um, I did not do that, but now I will. Let's go ahead and lock our normals. Okay, let's drag this left, right. Let's see. Sides text. Oh no, hold on. Yeah. Ivy. Drag these guys down here. Rename them because I hate copy. All right. Okay. Now I should be able to actually white scale everything. So let's go ahead and move this. Delete you. Okay. We'll just do the whole thing. Okay, you're going to be all white. And the relief sides probably need to be white as well. Okay, so that's all the ivy now. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Now we can do sides. Make sure that's all white now. All right, now we're finally good to go. Okay, so I'm going to save. Now we're good. Can I play this song? I do not know. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead and start exporting now. Get rid of, and okay. One of these days I'll figure out how to make it work. Okay, fine. Be that way. Get rid of you. And again, we're going to get rid of everything except for our ivy. Oh, and our background, because that's just a solid black square that we use to properly show everything. All right, so now we're going to do File, Save As. Let's see, Grove. It's going to be an SVG. So this is going to be relief, back, center, mask, ivy. I want to double check that. Relief, back, center, mask, ivy. Yep. Relief. And I lost it. There it is. Relief, back, center, mask, ivy. Yes, I want to replace it. That is fine. All right. So now we're going to open recent files, relief back. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Delete our normal regular mask. Delete our side masks. Okay. So we're now going to delete everything except for sides text. Delete. What is going on here? That was super weird. All right, now we're going to export that. So File, Save As, SVG. So we're going to do reliefs back. Let's see. Reliefs back. Here we are. Sides text. Hit save. Okay. And the last thing we need to do is export our normals and our albedo map. Right. So we're going to go ahead and delete this. Turn you on, unlock you. Get rid of our sides. Save this out as an SVG. Reliefs back. Let's see. Reliefs back center, I'm guessing, is what we want. Yes. Save. Okay. And the last one is our normal. So reliefs back. Oops. Turn you on. Turn you off. Get rid of our sides. And all right. SVG. Reliefs back, center, and normal. Okay, now Substance should automatically update. Ta-da! No effort on our part. aside from the hour that we just spent doing texture work. Um, but now everything is actually nice and neat, and it'll automatically be updated. But that is probably about as far as we're going to actually get on the Devstream tonight. I mean, well, you know what? We'll go ahead and texture our stone base. I just know that it's going to suck because as soon as I do so, it's going to break all of the textures on our. So everything looks nice here, but don't get used to it because all of that is about to go bust, which is a shame. So let's go ahead and come back here to substance. I wonder why these are different. Well, whatever. All right, we're going to go ahead and say publish. Let's go to environment, overworld, grove. Let's see, reliefs back. Hit save. Okay. All right, let's see. Come over here. Show and explore. And here comes the breakage. It's going to murder me. It's going to murder me so hard to do this. Oh. That's interesting. Really? I don't believe you. Did I just have them under relief miscellaneous? Oh. What? Then what the heck is... What are these for? That can't be right. Oh, there it is. It's on the back. Well, that would be why. Alright, I mean, that's fine. Although it is super weird. I don't really know why I have those in two separate places. Well, in any case. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome back. So what are we working on today? Well, I just got done doing a texture overhaul, which is why our textures on the back here kind of look messed up. Because I moved things around. We are working on the Heroes Grove today. So we started doing stuff with our... I'm just calling them legends right now. I don't really know what they're called, and I can't really do that research on the stream, so... but there's these little like plaques that you would read at historical sites, and I want something like that in front of each of these pedestals, or in each of these reliefs, so that you know that you can walk up and read it. Alright, so that stuff should basically be set up, which means that we can do our UV editing now. Whoop. I'm going to actually drag this over. How are you doing, Scorpio? Alright, so we're going to just move a lot of this stuff around. Are you at the back? I assume? Yes. Okay. So this is going to be fun. Am I going to have 3 separate meshes with different UV layouts? I might. I might have to do that. Ew, gross. All right. Let's go ahead and grab this. Grab this. Move this up. And was I correct? Ah, so close. Dang it. Yeah, so our stones are just a little too far apart. Are they wide enough? Okay, so they're perfectly spaced widthwise, but they're a little... They might just need to be spaced out a little bit more. So I have 2 instead of 3. Ah, well. How am I doing? I am doing all right. We'll see how the Devstream ends up going. But I'm pretty confident. It seems to be doing all right so far. So I'm going to drag this over. Grab both of these guys, pull them up. Let's grab the base. Let's see. Ah, dang it. That is really annoying. So if we look at the front here, or I guess it's probably up top, isn't it? Yeah. Let me rotate this 180 So it's slightly too small for our stone, which means that I actually think I need to shrink our stone text just a little bit to get it to look right. Man, that's gonna suck to redo all that. But our legend on the bright side is correctly spaced, I think. Let's rotate it as well. That's not too bad. I like that. I might need to give it a different color, maybe. Make it more like inset. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So I might, oh man, yeah. So I might actually change how the legend is structured visually. Instead of it being just chiseled in, it'll be more like the reliefs where there's like a bluish background and then the letters are white here, and then we're going to shrink it in horizontally so we can have sides that say stone as well to match the top and the bottom that we're working on here. Let's go ahead and grab some of these things and move them over. Move this up. What the heck? Oh. Ha! You're the culprit. We can delete you. I don't have a need for you anymore. Alright, let me grab this. Just gonna move this guy down to the same spot as the back, or I guess the front. Oh no, this is the front. Move it to the same spot as the top. Very confusing. Slide this to the left. And put it down. Alright, so yeah, you can see that it's kind of clipping. That's not super great. Let's see. Now to test the sides. This is going to be a bloodbath, I think. It is. Oh, yeah, it's... Nope. That is definitely not going to work. That is not going to work so hard that it actually hurts me. Although I guess I could group these two things. Let's group selected faces. And then group those guys. Of course, that means that they flipped. Because I can't have nice things. So flip you. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you can see that our sides are not even close. They are way too big. Ugh. Well, that's not the best. Yeah, that is really bad, actually. Well, I'm not sure. We might end here. Again, I'm feel bad, Scorpio. Since just because the texturing portion of text quests, ironically enough, is not really that interesting. I don't feel, at least for people to watch. I don't think it's that bad, but I'm also the one doing it, and I'm usually talking to myself and just thinking about how to position everything. But it's a lot of busy work, which doesn't really translate to something fun. So I always feel bad whenever I do texturing segments. I feel like it might be a nice thing to have like Sunday streams where I do texturing and modeling, and then I can just do music streams then. So I can just put on some music and you guys can watch me work if you want. And I can look at chat, but not really do too much there. I don't know. It's just something that I know that it takes me forever to do these texture or these UV layouts, and I feel like it's kind of boring for you guys to watch. Um, I wish I had a way to make it more exciting, but I mean, that's the thing about UV editing. It's just a lot of work. It's not really particularly interesting. But we can try to clean this up a little bit tonight. Let's go ahead and let's close all of these guys. File open from recent. Release back. I'm going to close all of this. And we're just going to focus on the center. There we go. What the? There. All right. So we need to shrink our stone lettering a little bit, make it closer together vertically. Let's go ahead and unlock this. Come down here. We're going to lock our sides. Select this. So we want this vertically to be 36, I guess. That seems correct. Let's see. Let's come back here. I'm going to actually move this over to the left so I can see it. And I'm going to come back over here. Ah, dang it. It goes away because it's a utility window. Ah, dang it. So I can't really do that. Well, it was about halfway through the bottom S when we were spaced out. So that, even this might not be enough, actually. Actually, and it doesn't matter. I need to shrink the text a little bit. So let's go down to 42. That might be better. If I shrink this down to 32. I think that might work. 34 might be better. But yeah, you can see what I'm talking about when I say texturing is not particularly the most interesting thing. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna make you guys sit through this. So little disappointed in myself today, just because I feel like I didn't get as much done as I should have. So dang it. So I guess I have to say the stream ended up not being quite what I was hoping. So I guess today I'm not doing well. But I think we're gonna call it, end it a little bit early today, just because again I'm getting onto something that is interesting to me and maybe interesting to other developers, maybe, but very tangentially, and it is very boring to watch and hear me talk about because I can't really talk about it. There's not much to talk about. It's just me saying, I got to move this over here and move this over here now. So yeah, I think I'm going to cut you guys loose. Let you go have a better time doing something else. But let's see. Any announcements? No. We should be back on Thursday, and by Thursday I'm going to have all of this art done, so we'll actually be able to do the interesting stuff, which is going to be hooking up our... Let's go ahead and come back here. I'm actually going to jump to the original Grove scene. Where are you? Let's go to our Grove. So on Thursday, we're going to actually hook up the logic for our hero's sword and getting that out of the pedestal and that whole puzzle. Let's see if I can do this. Dang it, I can't. There we go. So we'll actually finish setting up the Grove, get the sword to actually work, and get the legends all rigged up and such. And we'll be able to do that because I will have fixed all of the art by then. And it will not require you guys to sit there and just watch me do a bunch of UVing. So, all right. I think that's a pretty good place to stop for the day. So, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching. And I will see you all next time.